Welcome to Content Chaos with George and Call, a weekly podcast diving straight into meaningful conversations about navigating modern life. Using their weekly review framework, they explore personal growth, professional insights, and cultural observations. No fluff, just authentic dialogue that transforms chaos into clarity.
Hello.
Episode 46.
And I was thinking about this. Do you think that Hayden's train got messed up because of Taylor Swift's wedding?
Oh,
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. I was just curious because, like, all those trains were canceled in and out of Penn Station, right? Did I make that up?
The wedding was like 2 days prior. It was the heat and the weather.
Okay. All right. I shouldn't blame Taylor.
Yeah, you should be supporting other women.
Yeah. All right. So what went well for you this week?
You know, it was a good week. We played tennis a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, because I did the twice in one day thing. So that's always good. I feel good about the spring and the summer when I can do that. You know, we had Hayden was around this weekend, so that was nice. We saw her on our way to and from for good chunks of time to and from the shore. And it's always nice to have everybody together. You know, business I continue to feel really good about the lane I've carved out for myself and the work that I've been doing. So it's nice when you been really grinding and working hard and it starts to pay off and, things come together. So that's really good. Nothing, more than it was a good week from that front.
Cool.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, it's similarly had a nice week. It was great having Hayden home, having us all be together to play Uno and make fun of each other. And my NYU class kicked off. Well, it kicked off the week before, but we've met in person for the first time. And I just really enjoy it. It's a great group of students from all different interests and worldviews. And to me, I love the small class size because you really get to know people and the students really can contribute. Like we get to learn, they're from all different, parts of the world. So it's fun. And
It's cool.
I just enjoy the ritual. It's so interesting how life works because when you start something new, or at least when I start something new, I'm very dysregulated. I'm nervous about it because I'm not good at it yet and I'm awkward. I'm trying to figure it out and learn it. And just, you do it enough times, eventually it's going to be fine. And it's like, it's totally fine. And I've been doing this now for, I think it's like 5 or 6 years. And it's like, I don't care anymore. It's like the tech isn't working. Okay, it's fine. I always have an adaptation. And it's an interesting, observation. Last night, I'm like, my chemical, state doesn't change at all anymore. I'm not dysregulated no matter what comes up. And it's when you can get to that point, I think it's like pretty cool because then you can probably just relax and be in the flow and be in the moment. So yeah, that's what went well.
Cool. Sounds good.
And what could be better?
Well, this past week we had in the Northeast anyhow, we started out with, the heat wave, just oppressive heat. And I know that was in more than the Northeast. That was a lot of the country had, record setting temperatures. But then here in the Northeast and in a couple other spots, it turned into just really a hot, fast moving, moved really quickly, like went through the area quickly when they came through. But, 80-mile-an-hour winds, what seemed to go through the area in like 90 minutes took out power. Some people are still, that was on July 3rd, and people are still without power all around us. Not in our town, we got hit really hard. We were really lucky. We only lost power for 20 minutes. And just as I was thinking about, I've got the big generator I have to plug into the outside of the house. As I was ready to do that, the power came back on. So I was happy for that. That's like Murphy's Law for me. When I have a generator,
Naturally.
and which is fine. But other people aren't so lucky. And it's not so much about the weather. You can't control the weather, but the flood alerts, we've had flood alerts since then every day. They finally stopped today, and I think they might be coming back later this week.
Yeah.
And, 2 things really start to come to mind. One is this isn't just a heat wave and humidity and storms going through. It's like climate change is like we're living it. This is probably some of the mildest repercussions we see because of it. And then the other thing, actually, our 18-year-old today, he and I were talking about it, and he said, I don't know why they don't have a major project everywhere they can in this country to put the power lines underground. And it's safe, it's, less prone to damage. And aesthetically, it's just, wouldn't we all love to not be staring at these wires? And then these things, the winds wouldn't cause this. And then he made a point, which was never going to happen with the people that are in charge right now. Like that kind of thing that kind of public works project would never happen. It's just, it is what it is. I quickly got to that place where it was like, yeah, this is about more than just the weather and not controlling it. And I just think I can't wait. I hope we get back to a time when, we're improving things so that people don't have to sit without power for a week, or, we're, avoiding drastic. I think it might be too late at this point with the climate change thing, but we could certainly do better, where we're actually putting effort into things that are improving things for ourselves as well as our kids, who are going to deal with this stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think that could all be better.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. I mean, even like just reacting to your point, I would even say we could do better than going back. I think we can go forward.
Yeah.
Because like it's just not good. No bueno. And I all I care about is our kids and future generations. And unfortunately, up to this point, it's been me, people just protecting their own interests, not giving a crap about what comes after. And that's got to change. But
yeah.
Yeah, so what could be better for me? Just kind of along those lines, just noticing myself getting very angry at certain people over certain things, making assumptions about, like one of my triggers are these people who drive around in giant Escalades, or like there's another model with the big black SUV, like that takes up a full parking spot and then some. And then nobody can go in the one next to it, and guzzles gas, and like every friggin' person has them, and it's so annoying. And I ruminate, and like I create a whole narrative about the person driving the car, and then it's like, oh, that's actually my friend so-and-so. Like these are kind of some of these issues that we grapple with these days that I had told you I had to go to Acme, our local supermarket, and pick something up. And I was putting stuff in the car, and I had left some eggs on the hood of the car because I was, of course, getting distracted over one thing or another. And I saw this guy, and he had a certain kind of car, and I was making some assumptions about him. And, they were not good assumptions. And then I start pulling off, and I'm like driving away, and the guy's like he's talking to me. And I'm like me, I'm just like, why would this person be talking to me? And he's pointing, and it's like, I left the eggs on the car, and he's being like kind and telling me this. And in my mind, I had, written him off as whatever I wrote him off for. But so that's what I'm just working on, is being less reactive, less judgmental. Things are not always what you think they are. That old saying, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So it's just a reminder to pause and not be so judgy, because you don't always know. Yep.
Oh, that's a good reminder.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you learn this week?
It's hard for me to call out one thing. I think I just realize all the time that I'm in a state of almost like continuous learning, as cheesy as that sounds, but it's talk about assumptions as we go through this big transformation with work and with AI and everything. There are a lot of assumptions that were made generally by people who it was their benefit to get everyone scared and panic buying their stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of assumptions around what's going to happen to the workforce or where we would benefit. And I spend my time on a lot of that, and just continuously learning from customers, from their customers about, how things are going. From my own work, I feel like it's a very exciting time right now. It's a very creative time, as a silver lining to all that. So I just feel like there's just every day I feel like I'm, learning something new about this stuff. So that's good. I don't have anything specific to
Yeah.
call out, but that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so important to just kind of be trained and to see the opportunities, to see the positives. And it is exciting, because it's so much is changing, and cool.
Yeah. Yeah. How about yourself?
Okay. What did I learn this week? So this is also kind of my what went well, and also a shameless shill on my part.
Okay.
So I am launching whatever. It's a book club, very small curated group of people, but we're doing this, the Compassionate Mind workbook. And I have like okay. So you must have known I was going to talk about that, huh?
No, I went nuts one day and got a bunch of things that I thought would work. And a lot of them, I've been struggling when to work a new one in, but then I thought, oh, that's great.
That's awesome. Fred Norris in the making. So this concept of compassionate mind training is a new field. It's not really new. It's like based on the wisdom of Eastern religions that go back, 5,000 years. But meditation and self-regulation and mind, how you can kind of train your mind. And it's starting to be explored in academic contexts. So there's like Emory University, Stanford, Carnegie Mellon, University of Virginia, but basically helping people develop and cultivate their attention better, train. And one of the main ideas is that you have to change your inputs a lot of the time, because what you're letting into your consciousness and into your field is rightfully making you miserable, right? So you got to change some of those inputs. But what I love about this is that it is practical, and it can help individuals. And I think that for real, change to happen in society, it has to come from the bottom up. Like the top down thing, it's not, it doesn't seem to work very well for the planet. So yeah, I'm excited to do this workshop. I still have a couple slots left. So, and if any of our listeners are interested, we will meet on Fridays from January 17th until September something, noon Eastern time. And it's for 8 weeks. And we're going to go through each chapter. And it's a real how-to. That's, to me, what's important. Not just theory, but literally, this is how we play it right now.
Cool.
Yeah. So overall, I just love my summers. I really do love my summers. So
cool. You said you had a couple things of that, and then on the learning front, or if you're done, that's cool.
No, like I want to just read this little piece because I thought it was interesting, because I can share something. Okay. Modern life beats that of our ancestors, living in damp caves, often near starvation, fighting off wild animals, and being subject to a range of diseases that are easily curable today. And of course, most other socio-political systems that have operated in human civilization have been ruled by despots. Competition between tyrants of one kind or another kept people poor, feudal, and focused on fighting and defense. So freedom, invention, and innovation and enterprise have helped us in various ways. Unfortunately, the drive for profit and competitive edge, which was the motivation of the tyrants after all, is now being played out between firms and corporations who have hijacked these qualities, and they are seriously failing to provide for our human needs. We are increasingly divided, grasping and exhausted environments that are not conducive to happiness or well-being. And it's, the concept being is like, holy cow, all this material wealth and like the mental health is not good.
Yeah.
But we can work on this.
Yeah. How are our friends in the preserve this week?
The friends in the preserve are good. Because of the storm, I haven't, I haven't been out there as much, but they were very thirsty after the storm and hungry after the storm. So I actually got to go hook them up again. Be- well, the landscapers are here, so they don't, they're not going to be um, frequenting the little humbirdie as they normally do because there's a lot of noise. But yeah,
They'll
they're
be
very
back as soon
happy.
as they're gone.
They will, and I got to go
I'm
out there
sure
and
they're
hook them up.
watching. I'm sure there are a lot of little eyes all around the house watching
No
right now.
doubt. No doubt. Yeah. And they're all like, I was in my Zen garden this morning, little chipmunk came up and said hello. I mean, the creatures are as happy in the summertime as I am.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well,
All
we
right.
did it.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, everyone.
Love you, honey.
Love you too.